Hello friends, in this video about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the legendary Indian investor, we'll see some of the lesser known things about him. Then I will share a personal story of mine wherein I made good profits from the stock markets by understanding and getting his knowledge of the stock markets. And then third, we will look into the profits made by the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala in some of the specific stocks in his lifetime. And then fourth, we'll look at some of the key takeaways and the lessons in the stock market from his life. And then finally we'll go to the conclusion. Before proceeding into the video friends, first of all my prayers and condolences to Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's family and friends, and may God give them the strength to overcome this pain and grief, and prayers to the Lord that his Atma attains Shanti. So with that we'll start this video. So let us first see some of the lesser known things about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the Big Bull. Okay, so the first thing is his surname Jhunjhunwala is actually derived from a town called Jhunjhunu, which is located in the Rajasthan, and it is located in the northeastern part of Rajasthan. And his ancestors came from this town of Jhunjhunu, and hence from that this surname of Jhunjhunwala is derived. Okay, the second fact, lesser known fact about him is that the share which was very close to his heart and with which he was very emotionally attached was Karur Vysya Bank, KVB friends. Yes, KVB. Yes, Titan was also his favorite stock, but it was Karur Vysya Bank which was very emotionally attached and closely related to, and he had started investing and accumulating this stock from 1992 onwards until his death in his lifetime. He never sold this stock, and he held totally 245 crores worth of investment in Karur Vysya Bank. Okay, and the third interesting or the lesser known fact about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala is that he has also produced two Bollywood movies. First one is English to English, and the second one is Key and Car. Okay, so hope you all enjoyed certain lesser known facts about him. Now coming to the personal benefit which I got from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala is that I always track the portfolios of top investors like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and many others. And during that particular time, in November 2019, I came across this company called Delta Corp, okay, which was into casino. Right, and I've also made a video about Delta Corp. You can check out this thumbnail. Link is also given in the description and in the I button. So this Delta Corp I bought first time in November 2019 for 199 rupees. Right, and after that I started accumulating that share slowly. And during the COVID crash of 2020 March, April, May, the price fell down and I accumulated more and more stocks. And finally, my average price in Delta Corp was 128 rupees. Okay, and then later during the earlier part of this year, 2022 March and April, I sold that stock for 309 rupees. Okay, so buy average was 128, sold at 309 rupees. Okay, so I made a good profit of 2.4x. In 2.5 years by investing in Delta Corp basically, and I had needed this money for certain personal use. And so because of investing in Delta Corp and that too getting advice and portfolio of tracking portfolio of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, I got this immense benefit of in the stock market. And the story behind why I selected Delta Corp is that because it was a near monopoly or a market leader in the casino and the gambling business in India. And it was a small cap company, and hence it had a huge potential to become a mid cap company because of the nature of industry in which it was being operating. And also it was a debt free company, and all these ideas I have got, or all this wisdom and the knowledge I have got by listening to the interviews of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So based on that I found Delta Corp to be very good company, and hence I made this profit from Delta Corp. So now let us look at some of the returns made by Rakesh Jhunjhunwala over the last in his lifetime. And some I will not take all the stocks but certain specific stocks. The first one, if you see Apollo Hospitals, in which he made 100x during the period 1998 to 2005. Then Bata company, in which again he made 100x returns from 1995 to 2019. Then BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, he made 90x returns from 98 to 2007. I have also made a video about Bharat Electronics Limited. Check out this thumbnail, I button, links given in the description. Then in BEML, Bharat Earth Movers Limited, he again made 100x from 2001 to 2007. Then CRISIL, he made 200x from 2001 to 2016. That was the period. And then Praj Industries, he made 700x from 2001 to 2007, right? So these are some of the select companies in which he made and sold the shares. And right now, apart from that, we all know how much he has made huge wealth by investing in Titan, Lupin, right, which he was still holding in his portfolio until he was with us, right? So these are some of the returns made by Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So now friends, let us look at some of the key takeaways in the world of stock markets which we can imbibe from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. The first and the very most important point which I would tell is independent thinking. Okay, so he always used to emphasize on independent thinking, and he always used to tell that you cannot make money on borrowed knowledge. So if you want to make money, it has to be your knowledge, your conviction, your trust, your understanding. You can only make money, wealth by your own conviction and your knowledge, right? So that's what he used to tell, that don't take tips from others, because what happens is once you start taking tips from others and then invest, if it goes bad, then you have to go and scold him. You will get angry with that person. But if it goes good, then you will again go and ask for tips again and again, but not every time you will be successful, right? But whereas if you invest based on your own knowledge, even if you fail, you can learn from those mistakes. And if you succeed, then the amount of confidence which it will give you will be immense, and that itself will help you to invest better and take better decisions in the future. So I think independent thinking and investing on your own knowledge is the best advice which you can take from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and he showed it through his own investing style in his life. I remember in 1989 he had told in one of his interviews about the Madhu Dantavante's budget, who was the finance minister of India in 1989. At that particular point of time, everybody was bearish in the stock market. Top investors of that time itself, Radhakishan Damani, Nimesha, everybody was bearish. Everybody was selling stocks in the stock market like anything. But Rakesh Jhunjhunwala had an opposite view. He felt that the stock market will only increase, because he felt that at that time VP Charan Singh was a Thakur, so he will not give a bad budget for business, and certain other parameters he had analyzed. So he was very bullish and he took a bullish position. And once the budget came, it was really positive for the economy and the business, and his wealth net worth just tripled or become 4 times within just one day. So I think that is what you should have, your independent thinking, then definitely you can make money in the stock market. The second key takeaway is risk-taking ability. Okay friends, yes, risk taking is very important if you are if you want to succeed in any part of the life, friends. Okay, and he had imbibed the risk taking approach so perfectly. He knew exactly when to take very high risk, when to take moderate risk, and when to risk not at all to take risk at all, right? So he knew how to manage the risk in the stock market, and only a person who takes risk can obviously progress in life, that is there. And he always took calculated risk, friends, and not blind risk. So that is another important thing which you should know, to take calculated risk and not blind risk. And that, if you see his life itself, he entered the stock market in 1985. That itself I would call it as a very big risk, because at that time he himself has told in his interviews that if you enter the stock market, or if you want to make a career in stock markets, you will not get a girl for your marriage. So that itself was a big risk in the stock market that time, entering stock market 1985. You can just imagine, friends. But what was the calculation behind that calculated risk? It was that he was a chartered accountant by qualification. Okay, so even if he failed in the stock market, he always had a backup degree, and he can always go and take up a job and earn decent amount of income because of being a chartered accountant. So he showed in his life how to take risk and manage risk. Okay, so that's why I think he made multi-bagger returns, Titan, Crystal, Lupin. So that thing, I think it's in real sense he knew how to take and manage risk. The third key takeaway is that, friends, he always looks at the bigger picture, right? So he was always bullish on India, not blindly, but along with backed by facts, right? And he always used to tell, and always encourage the skills, and talk very proudly about the skills of Indian skill set, and Indian entrepreneurs also, how they have really performed well in so many years. And also he predicted that retail investors would join stock markets heavily, and that will really help the Indian stock market. And he predicted that in 2008, friends, 2008. And right now you can see, after 2020, so much of retail investors are coming into the stock market, because of which we are able to manage the FI, foreign institutional investor sell-off, because so many investors have participated in the stock market, retail investors. and all these things he predicted long back in 2008. So he always used to look at the bigger picture, and with that he would make his micro decisions of investing in stock market. So looking at bigger picture is very important. One lesson from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's life. Key takeaway which I would tell is he was a quick decision maker and would not end in analysis paralysis, right? So a lot of times what happens is we keep doing over analysis and end up in paralyzing, or in taking decisions. So he was not like that. He used to take decisions very fast. So that's why, he was a quick decision maker. That is another important quality. And he used to tell that once certain times when you get the opportunity, you have to seize it, right? You should not wait it, just seize the opportunities quickly. Then certain other points is that he was a very sharp trader and a successful investor. So friends, trading is like T20 match and investing is like a test cricket, and he showed that you can do well in both the formats, right? So the only thing is that you should know the rules of trading when you are a trader, and you should have the mindset of an investor when you are doing investing, right? And he showed through his life. The thing is that you should never mix the two. When you're trading, you have to go with the momentum, you have to go with the crowd. De phatapat, jaldi bhago, jaldi dalo, jaldi becho, right? You have to be fast, quick, and trade, play like a T20 match in a trading. Whereas in investing, you have to do analysis, understand, take contrarian view apart from what the crowd is doing, and still make money and not get bothered about price fluctuations in the stock market, right? So that is a quality of an investor. So you can become a good trader and as well as investor. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala has proved that. Also, another thing, friends, is that he had a bindas attitude, friends. Bindas attitude towards life, right? And a great sense of humor, and very humble and always connected to his roots, right? And there was always a charm when he was speaking. I could listen to his interviews for hours and hours together and just keep on listening him. There was a charm when he used to speak and a great sense of humor. He used to always compare markets with women and tell that markets are like women, both are volatile, unpredictable, always commanding, always mysterious. So if you look at those interviews, you'll just keep laughing at them, and such a great sense of humor really stride with a lot of people, even with me, and that is one of his great takeaways, friends. The final points which he had said a lot of time is that what you buy is very important, but at what price you buy is most important, which means that you should know when to buy stocks and not buy stocks just because it is good based on the price. So price entry point is very important. Only then you can make good return. So entry point, what price you buy is most important. That is another important key takeaway. And always he had a longer time horizon that allowed him to make good returns in the stock market. And I think that is an amazing quality which we can take from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So coming to the conclusion, friends, I think in my opinion, a movie should be made on Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Definitely, we have a series on Harshad Mehta, but definitely a movie should be made in the future, sometime in the future, about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, or at least a biography must be written by his family and his friends, so that the world also gets to know about him. And also I would recommend you to watch his interviews available in the YouTube, so that if you just by watching his interviews you can learn so many things which I have also learned, and that will really help in your investing journey. I will also attach some of the few interviews which I found it useful in the descriptions. Please do watch that and take the best use of from those interviews. So with that, friends, we come to the end of this interview. Thanks for watching this interview. Though Rakesh Jhunjhunwala has left his body, but his legacy, his teachings and his wisdom will always remain in this world. Thank you. This is C.S. Karthik signing off, and namaste.